Hello, Kelly, at Kelly Nunez. 9974. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome into Hollywoodland at Hollywoodland21. I usually do not go live today. Do I? For going live on YouTube at Hollywoodland21 is usually, this is his day off. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are a day off, but that might not be the case for a while. I don't know how this is going to go. I want to let everyone, hello. Thank you, Kelly Nunez. Kelly Nunez, 9974. That's okay. Dakula1, hi, how are you doing? I want to let everybody know that I'm going live today because I've decided to not go live tomorrow. I have to wake up at probably at 5:30 in the morning and take care of some things. And then after that, I have to go to my financial institution and take care of a lot of things there. And I'm going to be busy at my financial institution during the morning. Well, from early morning until mid-morning. And then I'm going to be busy making bread after that. And it's going to be a very hectic day. And probably by 6 o'clock p.m., I'm not going to want to go live. I'm going to want to just probably going to be very tired. However, I will go live. I will go live on Friday, 6 p.m. until whenever. I guess Saturday and Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until whenever I will go live. We can chit chat. Remember, this is a new channel. I'm experimenting with this channel. This channel isn't going anywhere unless YouTube makes it go away, God forbid. I have over 2,000 subscribers now. So my goal really is to get 10,000 subscribers on at Hollywoodland21 by September the 1st of 2026. What was that? We'll eat you slowly while you watch. Really? That's funny. You have a cut on your face where? Oh, here? Yeah, probably. I'm a man. I got all kinds of scars and cuts on my face and all kinds of stuff from doing manly things. I guess. I don't know. I've had some scrapes and bruises in my life. I didn't start anything. Hi from Frankfurt, Germany. That's where some of my ancestors came from. You see, it takes a lot of, I don't know if you guys know, but a few things happened since last week. A couple days ago, I got to tell you this story. This is kind of, it's funny now, but it wasn't funny back then. I almost lost my channel on the TikTok platform, the one that has over 7,000 followers. I almost lost it because I could not find some kind of a username or password or something that was in a spiral notebook that I wrote down a long time ago. And I thought it was something. I had to get my channel back. And the reason I had to get my channel back is because my Motorola 5G 2022 phone that I've been using for a while, because I'm so cheap, I don't want to buy a new phone. It finally melted. My phone melted, okay? You know the interesting thing, I got that phone. That phone had like a little lock on it, and I had to unlock it. It was a phone that was given to me by another carrier, by Boost, a long time ago in Los Angeles in 2023, but they gave me a 22 phone for free, two of them. But we changed after 1 month and we kept the phones. So these were phones that were never used, but they are 2022 phones. They're not like new phones. And I was using it, and it melted. It just wouldn't work anymore. And then the screen went blank, and then I had to go down to the store, and I had to purchase a new phone. And when you start adding up all the taxes, and you have to get a cover for it and everything. Hi again from Spokane, Washington. Welcome in. Your phone is like 8 years old. Okay, I had to go back down to my carrier. This is what's going to happen. Okay, I went down to my carrier, and I purchased a new phone. The whole thing ended up costing me over $200. I'm like, okay. $200 every, what is that? How long did that phone last me? I actually started using that phone in 2020, 2 years after I got it, 2024. It's what, 2026. So it's a 2-year-old phone. And you know, I'm live streaming and I'm using it a lot for various purposes. So it melted. And I had to dispose of it. I had to get the SIM card out of it, put the new SIM card into I had to switch SIM cards and use another phone temporarily, try to get my channel back. It didn't work. I had to end up buying a new phone. I just said, forget about this noise. And I went and got a new phone. I got another phone ringing in there. I hope it's not about money. I just don't feel like talking about money anymore today. Even if it's incoming, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It makes me sick. I'm trying to get spiritual, right? So anyway, like I said, my phone melted a few days ago. I tried to fix the problem myself for 14 hours, and I couldn't get the problem fixed. So I had to purchase a new phone. I transferred all the stuff from the melted phone. I put all the information on another phone that I had somewhere around a closet somewhere temporarily. And then I went down to a carrier that I'm going to quit using. Like I'm currently using Metro PCS. I must be like dumb in some ways. Excuse me? Is somebody on the phone for me?
No.
Good. It's a salesman.
Yeah, it's a telemarketer. So
it's a telemarketer. We're not going to talk about what they're selling or anything, but they're selling something, right? They're always calling us. We've blocked our phones so many times. Anyway, I was telling them about how the phone melted, and it took us 14 hours to get the phone going again. Stupid. Anyway. Got 33 people in here. I don't know what's going on. Excuse me. You okay?
Yeah, I'm having a banana.
Yeah, I just don't like, yeah, when people are behind me, I don't know. I lived in a big city. When people are like right behind me, I'm like, sup? You know, I'm just like, but anyway, yeah, I think 230 something, $38 or something is not that much to pay for a phone every 2 years, right? That's okay, right? What do you guys think? You think that's okay? Well, my father was very tough on me. Yes, he was. I'm glad he was around to raise me from 15 to like 18. $150 for a phone is good at the fresh one. I did not know that. I'm going to stop all of this, unless I understand that some people have to use Cricket and they have to use Boost and they have to use Metro PCS. And I played it cheap for a while and I did the Metro PCS thing. As a matter of fact, for many years, I did not realize that Metro PCS was like a cheaper kind of a carrier. I didn't know the difference. I'm going with Verizon. We're changing to Verizon next month, the whole thing, and I'm going to have all the data I want. I have like 7 phones that still work, but they're older phones. I mean, I wanted a new phone, right? Because at one point, this channel is not monetized right now, but it will be monetized. If we can ever get up to 5, we will be getting up to 5,000 subscribers. All you have to do is go to @Hollywoodland22 and hit the subscribe button. It's really easy peasy to do, and we're going to have a lot of fun. One day, very soon, this channel will have 50,000 subscribers, and it will be going up incrementally. We're going to talk about a lot of subjects, but you know what we're not going to talk about? We're not going to talk about Iran. I could talk about Iran, my viewpoints on it, or your viewpoints on Iran, and whatever's going on over there. We know what's going on. You can turn on your television or you can look on your smartphone and you can read all about what AI is saying over in Iran and what is actually for real going on in Iran. Okay? They're having a little bit of problem inside their country right now, amongst themselves. I think they're going to do most of the work for us. Anyway, so much for that. I will not be going live tomorrow. I'm sorry. I apologize. I usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 6 p.m. until whenever. I'm in the middle of doing everything that you have to do in order to, let me read this chat a little bit. Thoughts on thinking less? My name is Randall. Let's talk about what haircut. This haircut is not a haircut. It's hair that needs to be cut. Thank you, African Tales by Stan-N. Thank you for subscribing. You people are funny. I'm in the middle of relocating. Has anybody ever relocated? Well, I have. I've relocated from the East Coast all the way to Los Angeles once. I've relocated from Los Angeles to Seattle, Washington area, and then back again to Los Angeles. I've also relocated from Los Angeles to North Carolina, and now I am relocating to the Midwest, where I will be going to Kansas City. I'm looking at, I've been doing a lot of research, many different metrics, just employment, crime rates, what different zip codes are like, how much homes cost in different parts of Kansas City on both sides of the state line on Missouri and Kansas. I've been looking at Overland Park. Has anybody ever heard of Overland Park, Kansas? Anyone here? Oh, you're in Sioux Falls, South Dakota now. Okay. You've lived in Florida your whole life. I've spent some time in Florida. My brother lives in Lakewood Ranch. I've worked down in Volusia County, outside of Daytona Beach, a long time ago, for about 6 months, in Deltona, a place called Deltona. It's actually closer to Orlando. Very hot there. Very huge snakes down there and gigantic alligators. I remember, yeah, a long time ago, a real long time ago. I went down there in the summertime and I was actually working. I was a real young guy. It's before I went out to California. Oh, you're in Jacksonville? I've been through Jacksonville. Yeah, I am definitely, and when you relocate someplace, when you're young, it's one thing, but when you're like over 45 years old, you have to really look into some things. Like I'm looking into like, I don't know, medical groups that take my insurance. Like I have to go see a primary care physician. And when you get to a certain age, you really should be going at 40 years old, probably I'd say by 40 years old, you should be seeing. A lot of people say that your primary care physician should be an internist by 45 years old. They kind of look at all your guts and stuff like that, basically. Sioux Falls Medical is the best. That's one of them. I'm going to Kansas City, and there's a lot of different medical groups there that take my insurance. I'm glad about that. I'm very happy about that. There are a couple medical specialists that I do have to see, just like maintenance, like every year, make sure everything's okay. No, one of the good things is that I stopped smoking and got my lungs all cleared up, so that the pulmonologist looked at the inside of my lungs after he did like a CAT scan angiogram, and he could not believe how healthy my lungs were. And he asked me, I'd been smoking for like 25 years, and he couldn't even believe it. He was like, wow, you're lucky. And then also they have these things where I used to drink a lot. I haven't had any alcohol in 19 years. So they looked at my liver, and not drinking for 19 years, they looked at my liver about like 5 years ago, and it was like 3/4 good. And then in the last 5 years, it completely grew back. So my liver is healthy as if I never drank. So it's functioning perfectly fine. And I'm really blessed by Jesus that happened. I really am. A lot of people that drank like I did or smoked cigarettes for 25 years, they'll have like health problems and stuff, but I don't. And that's awesome. So I'm glad about that. I have no idea. Why do you think that's amazing? Yeah, it is amazing. I used to party and stuff. I'm 19 years clean. Yeah, well, I got some things on my mind too. Because I got a lot of things I got to do tomorrow. And I also have been doing that, just getting on my laptop, my Hewlett Packard laptop that I love so much. Um, it's a lot of work to to relocate the right way, because the United States is not the same everywhere you go. If you're not well traveled, you might not know that. If if you are, if you lived in a few places in your life and you really pay attention, it's kind of hard to know what a place is like just by reading about it on the internet or watching a television program, because they're not going to tell you what it's really like. But I've lived in different places. Like I grew up in Philadelphia and southern New Jersey and Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I know what that area is like. I know what New York City is like. I know what Washington, D.C. is like. I know what Seattle's like. I know what Los Angeles and Southern California is like. I know what Las Vegas is like. I've been through some places. I know what West Texas is like. I know Texas pretty well. And certain places. I'm well traveled. And the country is not the same everywhere you go. I believe it's really important that if you ever think about, like, say you're in California, and California is a mess right now in most places, in the bigger cities. A lot of people are leaving California, going to other states, but a lot of people are not really researching other places before they go. I kind of don't want to tell people in California where the nice places are, because I don't want them to go there and start wrecking things. I know how they. I don't want to talk bad about a whole state, but there's a lot of people that live in places like LA and stuff. They go someplace and they want to change everything. I would not personally recommend moving to the area that I'm living in. I mean, it might be for you. I mean, you might like Charlotte, North Carolina. You might like North Carolina, or you might like the South, like this part of the South, like the eastern part of the South that's closer to the Atlantic Ocean. I've been into the other parts of the South, which are very, very poor. Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and places like that. There's a lot of abject poverty and stuff like that. It's just not for me. The thing is that Charlotte is just not for me. Charlotte, I don't know if you people know that Charlotte, North Carolina, I live outside of it, is growing. It's like the second or third fastest growing metropolitan area in the entire United States. I think Myrtle Beach and Wilmington, North Carolina are growing faster. Yeah, it's going super fast here. And there's not enough of anything. There's not enough doctors, nurses. There's not enough stores. You go to the grocery, a lot of grocery stores, a lot of things just blow off the shelves. Plus, there's inflation, and so when you go to buy something, a lot of things are not there. It's kind of hard to shop around here. I mean, to a certain degree, this country is still recovering from the coronavirus debacle. You know what I mean? We're trying to get things together. I see a lot of older people, like people in their late 50s and in their 60s, working, stocking shelves in stores. I don't know if this is happening in your neighborhood, but I'm just not used to seeing people that old working in stores doing that kind of work. It's usually younger guys doing stuff like that. I don't know there's some things going on in the United States right now. Like, I don't think a lot of people are having children in a lot of parts of the United States. I think there's like No, it's not an issue anymore. I don't think the COVID debacle. It was over entirely in about 5 years, mostly. But I think there's some problems in the United States, in our culture, or something that is had its roots in. Well, it was exacerbated by the coronavirus debacle. If you lived in New York State or Maryland or California, or if you lived in Washington State or Illinois and some of the more populated states, those state governments had a lot of different policies and rules and stuff that made life miserable during the coronavirus. A lot of businesses just evaporated and stuff. Some places did not, or just stayed the same. Like I think the Dakotas, I think South Dakota didn't change anything. South Carolina, I heard, didn't change anything. Certain states did not change very much the way they operate, either their state governments or the stores or anything. But in some states, like I was in California for most of it, and like you went outside and nobody's outside. There's no traffic out there. You go anywhere you go, everybody's wearing a mask, even outside, like walking around. It's like kind of weird. And I don't know, it was just different. And plus, it was just different. That was very hard on me psychologically. I've been here for about 3 years. And Charlotte is just, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think for what we're paying. Just the cost of living here for what you get is just not matching up, you know. So we decided to live in the Midwest. There's a lot of places in the Midwest to live, and we decided on Kansas City. It's like 24% less expensive than the average place in the United States, whatever the average is. I don't know what the average is. When I saw that they have like condominiums for like $100,000, and they have like one story, like ranch houses and stuff, like for like $175,000. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Little places out in the suburbs and stuff like that. I thought with and you get a lot of land there. You get like a big giant yard. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Or if we decide to do like a condominium in the city or something like that, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I'll work it out when I get there. Economy's growing there. I looked at a few other places. There's a few other places that are doing well. Cincinnati and Columbus, Ohio are doing really well. They're growing, but they're growing steadily. They're not like growing out of control and not keeping up with different types of businesses that are necessary for a growing population. So yes, I have been out of the country. I've been to Mexico multiple times. Yeah, well, you see, I'm from Philadelphia. My sister lives in Philadelphia, and she called me and she let me know everything that was going on 2020, 2021, 2, 3. And then I left California and I left LA in 2023. I had been living there for like 31 years. That was my home. Now, there were other reasons why I left besides the COVID-19 debacle. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but COVID hit LA before it hit New York. People are coughing on all the subways and the commuter trains that people take to go to work. You drive your car to a platform, and you jump on the commuter train and go downtown or whatever. And there were people coughing their brains out in September of 2019. It was crazy. I was like, dude, like, cover your mouth, man. Yeah. And they were having issues out there before, like problems. Like there's like 75% of their unhoused people were out on the street, and they were changing their laws, and there was shoplifting everywhere, and there's people getting hurt and attacked, and it's all up and down the West Coast is like that. It just happened from 2016-ish and just got worse, and we couldn't take it anymore, so we just left. Now, Charlotte, North Carolina has a crime problem. I did not know this. I thought Charlotte, North Carolina was like a way less problems than LA. But what I found out is that Charlotte, North Carolina has a lot of new housing. It's like kind of a new, it was a medium-sized city with a few old things, but it got bigger. It got bigger with new houses, new apartments and everything, and new businesses, new places to work and everything like that. But unfortunately, it's growing real fast, and there's a lot of people from New York and Philly and DC and all different places moving down here, and they're moving down here 100 people a day. And the violent crime rate in the city of Charlotte and in Mecklenburg County, which is its county it's in, is going through the roof. You saw what happened on television. It wasn't just that girl on that light rail that got offed. It's a lot worse than that. So we're out of here. I think Overland Park, Kansas will be fine for me. Yeah. I've dealt with enough of that. I lived in these big cities. I lived in these big cities before some of you were born. Not all of you, but before some of you were born or when you were little kids. I lived in like places like Philadelphia and Los Angeles when they had even higher crime rates than they have now. So I just don't want to deal with that. I have to live someplace that's affordable, but has good medical care and has like employment opportunities that are worth my while. I mean, I have lateral movement. I can go anywhere. I don't have to stay in one place. I could go to as long as there's some doctors there, I can go there. You know what I mean? Some people are tied down. They have children. The kids are in school and stuff like that. I don't have that. You know what I mean? I know there's sketchy people at DeFresh One. It's sketchy. And the thing is, my brother lived in Charlotte like way back in 2002. He said it wasn't like this. It got like this. And there's some people that live in Charlotte that think it's really cool here. No, it's not. It's not. You're going to be spending more money if you want to live here. This place has 2,950,000 people in the metro area, and the Kansas City, Missouri, both cities and all their suburbs around it only have 2,275,000. So that's like 600,000 less people that I have to deal with if I go there. Isn't that great? I warned people. I said, I know how to live in cold weather. I hope somebody else does. Columbian River. Is that the river that separates Washington State and Oregon? I don't know. I think it is. Buffalo by here. Oh, really? Columbia River, Melissa McCurrick. I'm glad that you folks are talking with each other. That's wonderful. That's fantastic. Oh, by the way, you can ask me questions anytime you want. Somebody said that I seem like I'm a little off today. Like I'm in my head. What do you want to know the truth? At Hollywoodland21 is a wonderful channel for you to subscribe to. At Hollywoodland21, that's at Hollywoodland21. Hit the subscribe button. That's what I need. I need you guys to, all of you watching right now, I need you to hit the subscribe button to at Hollywoodland21. That's my channel. This is a non-monetized channel at this point. I do not make any money. YouTube is not paying me anything to be here. The only thing I really, really need from you guys and gals is to subscribe to my channel and hit the subscribe button at Hollywoodland21. Thank you. You guys are cool. Like Elvis. I sell things. That's what I do. Cold calls, direct sales. Let me tell you something that I've realized in my life, that money has not bought me happiness. I don't really know about other people. You know, there may be other people that have found happiness with their money. Well, I guess so. Good for you. But money has not bought me happiness. You might think I'm a happy guy all the time, but I'm not. You love Elvis? Me too. Hit that like as well. Thank you at Rachel M603. My child is grown and paying taxes. Yes, he is. Money is never meant to buy happiness, but they didn't tell me that when I was like 18 or when I was like 12 and I had a paper route. I used to deliver newspapers and sell subscriptions. I was certain that money was going to make me happy because I was living with my mother and she was a single parent. And I had to make a dollar out of 15 cents. And I thought that money was going to solve all my problems. And I thought that at the age of 11, when I was knocking on doors and asking people if I could take their trash out for 25 or 50 cents. Then I was selling newspaper subscriptions at the age of 12. At the same age, I developed between 12 and 13 years old. I acquired 3 apartment complexes and 2 rows of houses. And I had a newspaper route with 275 papers. Now, what was my profit off of every single newspaper delivery? That's right, 75 cents. What's 75% of 275? You can figure out how much money a little boy had in his hand. I don't even know what that was. I had like with that plus selling subscriptions to the newspaper, because I was like knocking on doors. Come on, you want to buy the newspaper? And I would get $5 for a 7-day subscription. They would just send me a check. All the subscriptions I got. And, it wasn't very common back in ancient times for a little kid. Was that 35 years ago? Like 35 years ago, a little 12-year-old is not supposed to have like whipping out $200 out of his pocket that long ago. Do you remember those? Does anybody remember 35 years ago? Does anybody here remember 35 years ago? Just say if you remember 35 years ago. A little 12, oh God, I'm going to give away my age. Oh my God, I'm not going to do this. You guys remember 35 years ago? Was $200 a month a lot for a 12-year-old little boy to have? What do you think? Because my mother asked me for that money. She said, you shouldn't have all that money. I said, yes, I should. It's going in my passbook savings account. That's right, it is, in the bank. Absolutely. And it wasn't spent all the time. That's a lot of money for that age. One time I was in school, and then these little boys tried to jump me, but the teachers jumped in and I got away. I'm not going to take my $250 to school anymore in junior high school. No way. No way. I'm not going to do that anymore. I put it in a passbook savings account. Just stuck it in there. I would have my younger brother like roll the newspapers for me, right? And then like once a week, I would give him like a $10 roll of quarters every week. He made $40 a month because I needed help on Sundays and Saturdays rolling those newspapers, which is too much. Just too many people because I had Saturday and Sunday customers only. So the amount of papers I had to deliver really went up on Saturdays and Sundays. So I would give him $5 for Saturday and $5 for Sunday, and he could go to the arcade and play all the video games he wanted because we used to have to go to arcades to play video games. But I'm not Kurt Russell. Maybe Kurt Russell is 74 or maybe Kurt Russell is 74 or 57 or 67 or whatever you're saying, but I'm not. That's not my age. My little brother is very big now. He's big and strong. He knows this thing called Krav Maga. It's like an Israeli jiu-jitsu thing. It's like something they teach their military guys and girls. It's like it's more dangerous than Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's like it's. Do you know what Krav Maga is? Does anyone know what that is? Melissa McMurrick is closer to the truth. Closer to the truth. Do you ever get the feeling that you're being watched? I do. All the time. You know, I really don't know who's watching me. Yes, there is something on my mind. Okay? Yes, there is something on my mind. You are being watched, my friend, Liquidsky 74. I wonder who you are. I'm being watched. I wonder who's watching me. Jesus is watching me. You're from Texas. I used to live in Texas. And where I had that newspaper ad I was talking about, where I made about $200 a month delivering newspapers and selling subscriptions as a 12-year-old little boy, guess where I lived? I lived in Lubbock, Texas, in the panhandle of Texas. You know where Lubbock is? It's 2 hours south of Amarillo. It's this big flat place with cotton farms and canyons that go through with mesquite trees everywhere. I was born and raised in Philadelphia, and then my mother met some guy in a discotheque somewhere, that became her boyfriend, and he had a job offer in Lubbock, Texas, and she followed him out there, and I flew out there. And she ended up getting a job at Texas Tech University and later at Texas Instruments, when Texas Instruments used to be in Lubbock a long time ago, before they closed that plant and went over to Lewisville, Texas. And I lived in Lubbock, Texas for the 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and the 9th grade. And then I moved back to the East Coast to live with my father. My brothers followed me shortly after, maybe about 5 months later. And I went back to the East Coast outside of Philadelphia in a suburb called Cherry Hill Township, New Jersey. You might have heard of it. It's where the famous Cherry Hill Mall is and the Cherry Hill Apartments across the street on Route 38. And it's where the Garden State racetrack used to be before it went up in flames in 1976. You know, the same year they started gambling in Atlantic City. Does anybody know where these places are? Does anybody know anybody from Philadelphia that moved to Lubbock, Texas as a child at 10 years old, lived there till 15, and then moved back to like the Philly area? Does anyone know anybody other than me that happened to? I'm looking for that person. I used to have a really strong Philadelphia accent, and then I got a West Texas accent. Oh, you're in Delaware. Are you in northern Delaware? Are you near Philly, near the airport, or Christiana Mall, or the places? Where are you at, Ringo? Thank you, Tacula. Close to. Okay. Close to. I know I worked at the Christiana Mall. I was a retail store manager for a little while. I was a real young guy. And then I bailed. You know what I did? Dude, I know. I grew up in like Fishtown and Kensington and different places, Oxford Circle, you know, around there. Oxford Circle off Roosevelt Boulevard. I lived in Kensington for a little while, Fishtown, Aramingo Avenue, different places. I lived around there. I lived in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I lived in, where else? I don't know. Lived in Langhorne for a little bit. That's funny. You're from Oregon and have someone have a Southern accent. Oh, you're in Jersey. Okay. Carrie Carucci, 1678. I'm in Jersey near Cherry Hill. Where are you? White Horse and Black Horse Pike, like around there? Are you in Mount Laurel? Morristown? Where are you from? I know the area real well. I know everywhere. I know where everything is. Damn it! What's that nightclub that those guys used to own? Those Italian guys used to own over there on Route 73. When you're coming over over the DeConey Palmyra Bridge, and you come back, you go by Roger Wilco Liquors and stuff, and there's that nightclub right there. It actually does catering and stuff right there. You know what I'm talking about, Carrie. What's that place? I forget what it's called. I used to dance there all the time. Oh, okay. Anybody on the East Coast knows your story. Do you know me? It's going pretty good, Wayne. What's it called? I'll look it up. I used to go to Delaware Avenue. They had a bunch of nightclubs over there. I used to go over there all the time. I used to race my car on Front Street. You know where that is? Delaware Avenue up close, not too far from Center City, had a bunch of nightclubs. But down on Front Street at about 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock midnight, we used to race our cars illegally down there, remember? Down where the warehouses are and stuff. Anybody from Philly knows that's what you do if you grew up around there. It's a pretty big metropolitan area. There's a lot of people from the Philadelphia area. It's about 6.5 million people. Yeah, it was a blast living around there. That was a long time ago. Things change, don't they? Things change. Like when you go some places don't change. I've been to Bismarck. I think it's in North Dakota. Is that where it is? I think I went across country. I've been through these places where nothing changes. There's like places where nothing changes, but if you go someplace in the Northeast, or if you go out to California or something like that, there's things changing like, oh my God. Even the parts of the South have changed. There's certain things in this country that have changed so much since like 2010. It's just like unbelievable. It's unbelievable how much things can change in only like 15 or 16 years. I'm not so sure I like it. I'm dancing with the changes, but there's some things I just don't accept. Anybody who had a mother or father who had a TV in the 80s knows those places you go. Philly, Atlantic City, Cape May. You know these cities you mentioned. Okay, I hope so. Rango. Wayne, well, when I was a child and a teenager, there was, to a certain degree, I heard. I mean, you know, a lot of things change with all this high-tech stuff. And I mean, that's a whole subject matter I'd rather not get into. But the whole country did change, like with RICO acts and stuff like that. And a lot of that type of thing that people think exists and stuff that a lot of people that, let's just say a lot of people that they are professional, they commit crime for a living. A lot of those people got put out of business because of RICO Act. There was a time in the 1980s, and even when I was a child and before I was born and stuff like that, where you had a lot more of that kind of thing going on. I don't really know much about that. I wouldn't want to mess with anybody like that. Those people are not people you want to mess with. Yeah, Melissa McCurry. I agree, Hollywood. So much has changed. Changes began in 2008, then really changed during COVID. If you're at least 40 years old, say you're like, excuse me, if you're like an older millennial and you were born like in the early 80s or before, say you're like up to about, if you're at least like 41, 2, 3, 4 years old or older, I'd say older millennials remember the way things used to be. Things were different. People used to be, the country used to be different. You remember as children, as young adults, it used to be different. There's something going on. I don't know if it's all over the United States, but there's some kind of a thing going on where people seem to be kind of not everyone's like this, but I'm saying that some people seem to be like in like they got an attitude, or they don't talk to their neighbors as much, and there seems to be some kind of it's not just a political divide, it's like some kind of a cultural divide, or there seems to be some type of distrust thing going on. I don't know how much these smartphones have to do with this, or social media. But one thing I noticed on social media personally myself, and it's not everyone on social media, but some of the younger people, maybe some of the older people, I don't know, on social media, if you are a live streamer, and I'm learning this myself, if you are a live streamer and you deal with and you do this for passive income, or I'm not making any income right now, I will, but if you do this for passive income, or if you're a channel and this is your main income, or this is what you do, or even if you're just live streaming just for fun or something like I am right now, people will come into your live stream and say horrible things sometimes, and they'll do character assassination and say horrible, horrible things. It's not as bad now. YouTube has really cleaned it up. YouTube has, I don't know what they did. I'm going to have to read up on it, but YouTube was really rough like about 5 years ago. It's not so rough anymore. And there's a lot higher quality people in here, to the point where I don't really always need moderators in here all the time. I need them, but I don't need them. I need them especially on Sundays and Saturdays and Fridays. But it's not as rough of a crowd in YouTube as it used to be. Now, on that other platform, TikTok has really changed, in my opinion, and opinions of a lot of people. I don't know if it's a money thing, like people that are live streaming for money, they're complaining they're not making as much money. Their videos aren't getting pushed out. It seems like there's a lot of people that have like medium-sized channels and smaller channels that some people have just quit altogether. They just kind of stop live streaming. Don't see that as an avenue to make a little bit of money. But it seems like there's a lot of people on TikTok that I used to watch, like in the last, just casually in the last 3 or 4 years, that are live streamers that seem to be a little bit testy. They seem to get a little upset. It's not everyone, but these are people that are pretty friendly people and stuff, but they're getting a little upset. They're not making the money they used to make. I mean, I know some people that are making money on TikTok, but they're on TikTok like all day long. They are literally on TikTok 12 hours a day with like 3 different phones, like batteries to charge their phone up real fast, and all these different phones, and it's like 6 or 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, just constantly. And they're making a living on TikTok. But if you're not doing that, it's really hard to get going on TikTok now. So I see a lot of people are coming over to, well, there's people actually that they're desperate to make money, to earn money. They're going to work full time, and then they come and they're trying to make a passive income on TikTok. It's not working. I've talked to a lot of people that have left TikTok and they're on YouTube right now. They're on YouTube and they're on Kick too. That's another platform, Kick, that's really good for building a channel. I've talked to a lot of people on Kick. They're very happy. They can say whatever they want. You have to worry about getting banned for every little thing. They're having fun. They're enjoying themselves. Who's a good, if you go on the Kick platform, check out Deli Wave. Deli Wave is fun. She has a really good channel. She's a good conversationalist, and she's really good people. You would enjoy Deli Wave. She used to be known as Deli Wave Microwave on TikTok. I mean, I think she still has a page, and she might even have a YouTube page, but I'm not sure. But she does have a Kick channel. Try Deli Wave out. You'll like her. Or there's another guy that's kind of fun. His name is One Sonic. He used to be a streamer on Hollywood Boulevard, and he's in Maine right now. He's actually based out of New York City, I think, but he's in Maine right now, and he's having a blast. You should check out his channel. Or Ice Poseidon, or who else? Trishalicious in Southern Nevada. She's a lot of fun. She's a really good conversationalist. Who else is on TikTok and YouTube? Katie Roby. She used to be known as Miss Fucking Wonderful. I think she's Katie Roby now. Yeah, you remember her. She's a really good live streamer. She kind of dared me to do this. Who's another good YouTube live streamer? Is VP Gloves. VP Gloves is a really good conversationalist. I think you'll like him. He has a very interesting channel. Oh, really? Okay, we're not going to allow that. Okay, I forgot to tell you people. You should know by now. On my channel, there's some things that are not allowed. Not too much. No anti-Semitism on my chat, or you will be blocked forever. No talking about racially bigoted type things, or you will be blocked forever. Number 3, do not talk nasty about women or children on my channel, or you will be blocked forever. And also, no defamation of character. Do not say false things about me, and don't say false things and harass people in my chat, or at Dakula1 or Jerry or Daniel Holman, my 3 moderators, will make you go away. You will be blocked, and you will never be able to come back to this channel. I'm the guy that blocks people for those things, those offenses that I just stated, and you will never come back to this channel. You don't get a second chance. You have to get right with Jesus, and then you need to go to another channel and enjoy them. And yes, I am a little bit off today. Hey, Hollywood, James Lahu. Hey, Hollywood, how are you? I'm doing fine. Mary McBride, 9134. Shalom, Cindy Simmons. Shalom. Yeah, I mean, like, don't just go ahead and say, but don't say a bunch of like racially bigoted things, or just if you don't like, if you've got a problem with people that are gay or whatever, like, keep it to yourself. Don't put it in my text. I can't tell you how to think. I just don't want that in my text. It doesn't mean anything about me. I'm a straight dude. I dig women, okay? I like curves. I like women with bodacious tatas. I really do. A lot. Oh my God. I like really girly looking girls. I like girls with curves. Larger than normal big breasts and things like that. Yes. I'm a man. But don't make fun of gay people here. I don't want that. I want everybody to come have a good time here. What you do in your bedroom is your business, you know? Thank you, blog 4322. I worked as a waiter and a bartender. How many gay dudes do you think I worked around? The whole restaurant. They never bothered me. You like what you eat, right? Yeah, you are what you eat. You are what you eat, which makes me a pussy, right? Whatever. It's something that as you get older, you really start enjoying as a man. Yeah, just use common sense. No, I'm not. I have done. I guess you could call that construction work. I'm a salesman. I sold vinyl siding and I sold tools, but there was a time in 1994 where I happened to not have. I was working in 1990. In 1994, I was a bartender and a waiter, a part-time bartender and a part-time waiter. And then they were cutting hours or something, and I didn't like where I was working and stuff. And then all of a sudden, right when that happened, the Northridge earthquake in the San Fernando Valley part of LA happened, and I was living in Hollywood at the time, and the earthquake happened at 5:30 in the morning. And I had these 2 little part-time jobs, and I'm like, because they keep cutting my hours, and I was like, forget that noise. My friend knocked on the door after the earthquake and said, yo, we need to go from Hollywood, and we need to just going down to San Pedro, where the ships come in, the port of Los Angeles, and at one of the union halls there, called the Ship Scalers Union Hall, they were hiring people to fix up earthquake damage. So I went there and I bought some construction boots with steel toes and everything, and I got like a hard hat and everything like that. And I went down there and they hired me and about 800 other people, put us on a bus, and they took us up, and we fixed up and we jackhammered up what was left of part of the Santa Monica Freeway. That's the Interstate I-10 that comes through LA. It had come off. You saw it on television if you're old enough. It came down at La Cienega and Venice Boulevard. It was a mess. So it had to be jackhammered up, scooped up, put in bags, and put into containers and taken out of there so they can rebuild the bridge. Also, I went up to Valencia, where Six Flags Amusement Park is. I don't know if it's there anymore. And a place called Valencia near Santa Clarita. That's in the northern part of Los Angeles County. And they had some sewer lines break underneath the ground because that's closer to where the earthquake epicenter was, which is in Northridge, which was not too far from there. And the sewer broke and all the sewage came up into where the orange trees were, the Valencia oranges, and wrecked all of the farm. So we had to pull out all of the trees. We had to pick up dead animals, and we had to put rain suits on with gloves and respirators, and we had to check this out. We had to pick up. Oh, you watched a documentary about that in middle school? Yeah, we went up to Valencia and we picked up all the dead deer, all the dead animals, everything, and we had to put them in bags. It was sad. It was really sad, and we had to put booms out, the irrigation creeks. I had to get up the water up to here and put these big booms up, these flotation things to catch the oil and the sewage that had popped up because there was oil and sewage and everything that seeped up from the ground that was getting in the irrigation and the water. And I guess now that farm is back there again, but it was a gigantic Valencia orange tree, the little ones, Valencia orange tree farm. And we had to just pull all those trees out there. We were up there for months cleaning that mess up. You might have seen on television, there were some other problems in the northern part of Los Angeles, which is Northridge, Chatsworth, Reseda, and all these different names you hear, Van Nuys, Sherman Oaks. And they had apartment complexes that had, you go in the back alley and you park the car kind of like in an underground garage thing. And then the apartment complex fell on the cars, and you had parking garages that were not strong enough for the earthquake. They just folded over like this. It was a big mess. You even had a gas line blow up. I can't remember what road it was on, in Reseda or Winnetka, but one of these main north-south secondary roads had a gas line blow up through the street and had a big giant flame coming out of the street. Do you remember that on television when that happened? That was a 6.8 earthquake, and I had never been in a real earthquake in my life. I was so scared when that happened. I was living only about a half a block north of Hollywood Boulevard in a 1927 built building, Art Deco building. And the building started swaying. And I was grabbing my wallet and grabbing my coat and throwing my shoes on. I didn't even tie my shoelaces. And I'm running out of the building. The manager was banging on all the doors saying, "Get out of the building, get out of the building." We had to get out of the building. Now we found out that the building was structurally safe later on. They had engineers come by. But meanwhile, they had to pay for us to stay in a motel for about a couple weeks down the street. It was a bad motel. It was like a cockroach motel, but we all stayed down there for 2 weeks. And then we came back to our apartments because the cracks on the side of the building, the structural engineers discovered that it was just superficial. It wasn't like a structural problem with the building. That building, built in 1927, with steel girders and concrete floors. The only thing that happened is some bricks fell off the side, just some brick facing. You know how they put brick facing on the outside of those buildings? I don't know if you've ever seen any of the older mid-rise and high-rise buildings that they built in the 1920s and 30s and 40s, and like in the Hollywood area, the kind of fancy-looking buildings. I lived in one of those, but it was really just superficial damage. So we got to move back into it, which was really cool. I didn't have to relocate to another apartment or anything like that. It was cool. My brother-in-law's house caught fire because of the gas lights. That's what I'm saying, because anybody that knows LA knows that they use gas. There's like, even the old apartments built like in the 1940s, like the old apartments with the swimming pool in the middle and the doors face the middle. It's like a mission style apartment complex, or any of the apartments around there all have gas heat, gas stoves, gas heat, gas everything. I'm thinking, wait a minute, there's earthquakes around there. You think that electricity would be a better thing to have in California, where there's like friggin' earthquakes and stuff? And you know what's interesting about that earthquake is the earthquakes usually, the last earthquake that happened in the northern part of LA happened in 1971 in a place called Sylmar. Sylmar is where the Stetson cowboy hat was invented. Did you know that? I found that out as an adult. But that earthquake happened in 1994, woke me up. But actually, most of the more frequent earthquakes that happen all the time happen east of LA in Riverside, like Riverside, San Bernardino area. They get earthquakes out there all the time. Or if you go to, where else gets earthquakes? Well, I don't know, like north of Palmdale, like up in the desert and stuff. Not even in Bakersfield. I mean, just like places that nobody lives really, but like little small towns. Or where else? They would be, you know, what's more susceptible to earthquakes is like the northwestern part of California. Like if you go north of San Francisco and you go up to Santa Rosa and all those little towns like Eureka and Fort Bragg and all those places that are like, they got big trees up there and mountains and all that stuff. They get more earthquakes up that way. They get earthquakes up there a lot. Like, I think they get ones that cause tidal waves and stuff, but there's not a lot of people living there, you know? Yeah, David Clark, that Northridge earthquake was my first. I'm like, dude, I'm from Philadelphia, dude. I've never been to an earthquake in my life. I just saw like I saw movies, like they had an old movie I watched on TV called Earthquake, and I thought it was kind of corny. I was like, I can't be that bad in an earthquake, right? Yeah, but dude, when I was in an earthquake for the first time, oh my God. I saw guys acting like little bitches and stuff like that, all scared. Oh my God, oh my God. I was like, dude, calm down. I'm scared too. It's not showing you. And then all of a sudden I started acting like that. I was scared. I was like, is it because it hit and it went boom, 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 like that. And then you're sitting there, right? You're like, oh, is that an earthquake? And then 1 minute later, it happens again. That same thing. Boom, 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 boom. And you're still in the building and then, oh, it's time to get out and put your shoes on and get out of your night clothes and get your wallet and get your smokes and your Bic lighter and everything and get the fuck out of your building, okay? Because you're in a 1927 building. But thank God that building was strong. Damn, them old buildings are strong. All the brick falls off the side, but they're still standing, right? And then that does the same thing again. And then by the third time, you're out of the building and you're in the parking lot, because there's a place called behind the check cashing place on Hollywood Boulevard was a place called Grant Parking. If you've ever heard of Grant Parking, it's a parking thing all around LA. And I'm in the parking lot, and it's empty, because no one's parking there, because it's not at night, because they do that. They park there to go to the nightclubs, and everything's, yeah. So there I am. And then it shook again and kept doing that. It kept doing that for like, at least for 3 to 4 hours, there was a little something. It got less and less and less. The shakes got less and less, but it went on for until like maybe about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. And then then there was no more shaking. And there's sirens and there's helicopters and all kinds of stuff. But I did make money that year. She's got pictures of the road that fell down and collapsed on top of the other roads. Now that I think there was an earthquake that happened in Oakland, where the double bridge like fell and people were crawling up in there to save some people that were stuck in their cars in there. Did that happen in 1989? Was that a different earthquake? That was an earthquake up in the Oakland area. Wendy Long, can somebody please tell me what's happening right now? Well, what's happening right now is Randall, AKA at Hollywoodland22, that's my channel, is asking you to subscribe to my channel. That's what I'm doing. That's what's happening right now. We're just talking about how freaked out I was in my first earthquake. To be honest with you, I was actually more terrified as a child in a closet in the middle of a 2-bedroom apartment when a big giant tornado was only about maybe a half a mile from me, outside of Lubbock, Texas. I won't forget that one. I really thought I was a goner. Even at a young age, I thought I'm done. How old was I? I don't know. 13? I was old enough to know what was going on around me. And it was so close it sounded like a freight train. It was much more frightening than the ground shaking underneath me. And that says a lot. That carries a lot of weight. Yeah. And yes, I am relocating out to the Kansas City. And I will be living in a big building. If I'm renting the first year I'm there, I'm going to rent. I'm going to lease the first year. I will be in a mid-rise, something that is made out of steel girders and concrete. And any home we move into will have a basement. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know how many deaths were in that earthquake. I'd have to look it up. There were some really scared. The women were really scared. There were women telling their husbands that I don't want to live here anymore. There was a chunk of people that moved out of there. Prima Loma earthquake, it was called. Yeah, that's what it was called with that over there in Oakland. Well, it's been 1 hour and 19 minutes and 57 seconds. That's a while. Yeah, I don't think I should just take off right now. I probably should get something to drink. Let's take a little walk over here. This hair definitely needs to be cut somewhat. And it's too dark. It's going to be I mean, I only have gray right here and right here, but I just went in and colored the whole thing, right? But what happens is I used L'Oreal, and L'Oreal medium brown makes it really dark brown. That's what happens. So I might change the brand, and I'm going to light brown so that it comes out medium brown. So there's more red coming through, which is really what my hair really looks like. My hair is like kind of a medium brown with a lot of red in it. And if I dye it light brown, that's what it comes out as. But I might not do L'Oreal. I might do Clairol or something else. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, and I want to cut a little bit. I don't want it this long, you know. I want to I'm just going to cut like about an inch off of the whole thing, like this, something like that. See, my hair I look really different with short hair. Like, this is just me with kind of shorter hair, I guess. I'm just messing with you. Yeah, but there is something that's been on my mind for a while. Sometimes I think there's something that I did wrong. I'm trying to think about what I did wrong. What was so wrong about whatever I did? Okay. I may never know. I may never know if I did anything wrong or not. YouTube and Kick and TikTok, especially that platform, TikTok. There's so many problems with TikTok, and there is a wide variety of different types of people that come on TikTok. One of the things is that I was on TikTok and chatting with people for so long that I got used to a larger percentage of the people that I've actually befriended are on TikTok, more so than YouTube. But I've gone back to YouTube and I've reacquainted myself with YouTube people, and they remember me, and because I chatted on YouTube for a long time. And they're like, "Where have you been? Yo, Randall, where have you been? Randy or Randall." My Cash App says Randy. My name is Randall. And they remember me from like a year ago. They're like, "Where have you been?" I was like, "I was on TikTok for 11 months. And then I was just chatting on TikTok. I stopped live streaming there, and I started live streaming on YouTube. They found me on here. Now they all found me here. So I can chat with my YouTube friends. A lot of people don't think you can have real friends on social media, but the answer is no, yes, you can. Yeah, you can. Certainly can. I watch musicians, I watch artists, people that paint, people that do arts and crafts, and people that play musical instruments and things like that and sing. That's what I watch. Oh, really? I did not know that. It's showing a lot of red when you're under the light, like red in my face. Oh, you mean red in my hair? Yeah, my hair actually has more red in it than this. L'Oreal is the best, but made my hair so dark. Like, it's actually come out a little bit, but it's like it made it look like it was dark brown up against my face. And I have a really white face and with red in it, and it just didn't look right. Oh, you sing? I like singing. I like singing. At Melissa McCurk. Thank you, at Bex 8714. Thanks for coming in. A feathered haircut. I remember those. That's Food Lion Diet Generic Soda. Thanks for supporting my channel at Melissa McMurk. I appreciate it. China is collecting data. Yes, they are. Oh, they have roads stacked on top of roads on the East Coast all the time. We don't have earthquakes back there. You'd be surprised that 80% of the United States population lives east of Topeka, Kansas. Did you know that? There's a lot of nothing in between Topeka, Kansas and California. Nothing. out there. I've been out there, just rocks and desert and trees and stuff. Fields with cows and stuff. Maybe Fantastic Sam's, like a little place like that, will actually do my hair and do it the right way. Stereo Stupid. What's up, Randall? Hi. How are you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for coming in. It's a good day for ice cold lemonade, says Kevin Lawrence, 4930. I think so. At Arumi, Hollywood actor. No, actually not. I was a salesman most of my life. I worked in the hotel business, the restaurant business. I've been here a good few times. Yes, you have. Go Flyers. I used to watch Flyers games. Hit the like for Randall. Thank you for subscribing to at Hollywoodland21. That's at Hollywoodland21. My goal is to get 10,000 subscribers by September the 1st of 2026 this year. Look, it's just so long. Oh my God. I almost want to wet it and show you guys what it would be like if I had shorter hair. I remember when I was 44. Just something odd's going on. I don't know what it is. It's not like a bad feeling. It's just like a it's like a just like an odd feeling, like something's off that's going on in a part of my life, like a sliver of my life. But something that's important to me. To me, I didn't say to anyone else. I said it's important to me, but there's just something that just doesn't sit right. Like something's off about a situation. And I really don't know what it is. I really don't. I don't think I don't believe in assuming things. If I'm not armed with the facts, then with very little facts, then it would be foolish for me to assume anything. So what I like to do is start over, give people the benefit of the doubt. I give people the benefit of the doubt. I really do. Do you do that? Maybe there's something I don't know that I'm unaware of. There's like, I don't know how you guys feel about this. You are armed with a double cheeseburger right now. Sounds ominous. When it pops in your head like that, it's usually your intuition giving you a sign. Well, there's oh, CERN. Okay. Well, we need a little bit more detail. What do you mean a little bit more detail? Little Miss Jax, we need a little bit more detail. Lisa Kerr, hi. Yeah, this is not my usual day. I want to let you ladies know that I will not be here tomorrow night because I have a very busy day tomorrow. I'll have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning and I will be busy. And I do not want to live stream tomorrow. Just tomorrow, but usually on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Hollywoodland22. That's my channel. I'll be here. And hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Yes, there is something that's been weighing heavy on my mind for about a week now. I usually, I am a person that usually does not get like, I mean, I'm a manic depressive, but this is kind of something that's okay, it's hurting my feelings, and I don't know if it should. It is. It just is. It's something hurting my feelings. I wonder if I did something wrong. I wish I could fix it. Maybe I didn't do anything wrong, but I just feel off. Like something feels really off, you know? You know that odd feeling you get in your chest, like something's wrong. So, you know, you give people the benefit of the doubt, you know. It could be a lot of things. I could have said something wrong. There could be a third party that is involved. I will not assume anything. I'm just gonna just be here. Maybe someone doesn't like you spending your time on here, little Miss Jax. Oh, you mean like somebody? No, I don't think that's a problem. No. It's a full moon. I think that I might have done something that would. I sometimes sometimes there's misunderstandings, you know. When you're on like a platform like YouTube and TikTok, sometimes it's a lot of times it's things are easily misunderstood, and sometimes things are not misunderstood. And I may have done something that either offended somebody or I came off as maybe a little too me, maybe like I'm kind of a, I don't know, I'm just kind of, in real life, I'm kind of, and some people think I'm intimidating. I don't want to scare anyone or anything like that. I'm just kind of forward sometimes. I can be crass sometimes, and I try not to be. And sometimes I need to just, you know, back up a little bit. Maybe a lot. All I can say right now is that, I'm only human. I'm just a man. I'm not like perfect. I'm a man, and I'm not perfect. I have flaws, I should be more, what's the words for it? I should be more, understanding of other people's sensitivities. And I may have crossed a boundary without realizing it. I might have gotten it wrong. I might have misinterpreted something. Like I might have gotten a signal that I thought was a signal, and I completely misinterpreted. I could have completely misinterpreted it. You know what I mean? We're all flawed people. Regroup and relax. I meant to say maybe you should take some time to reevaluate the situation. Yes, normal like everybody else. Who else in the room? It will work out. It will work out the way it's supposed to work out. That's for sure. Might not be the way I necessarily want it to work out, but it'll be okay. This will pass. Oh no, I got a separate issue. Well, I got a separate issue. That's one thing. I might have misunderstood somebody and taken action based upon that misunderstanding is what I think may have happened. I do not know. I may never know, and that's kind of the messed up part is I might never ever know. Yeah, I'd like to have a conversation with that person about it. It would be nice if I could have a conversation with that person about it. We're all human, we make mistakes. Yeah, Kevin Lawrence, yes, to a certain degree. The what is, don't focus on the what is. As long as you wake up every day, something's working right. Nobody's perfect, just be you, and don't be so hard on yourself. It was me now. Apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What did he say? What did Paul Rubens say to Cheech and Chong in that movie where they're in the psych ward? He came in with the nurse and he said, I'm sorry, I took the money. Remember that? Yeah, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to converse with that person. I think I really don't at this point. I'm like, I don't know. They might vanish forever. I really don't know. It might be nothing. It might be nothing. Tomorrow's a new day. I should be in a movie. If I should be in a movie, then maybe I need to go move back to Burbank and go to open auditions and try to get on in a movie for fun. I mean, I could go back to Los Angeles and go be a salesman and do what I do for a living. I'm good at whatever I want to do. I'm a professional. If somebody offered me enough money to be in a film, I would. It would have to be worth my while and stuff. It would be fun. I would treat it just like any other job. Rowan and Martin used to say, Burbank is a nice town. I used to do my banking there. It's not a relationship. No, it's not. It's not somebody I'm. No. I mean, you could fill a space that Kurt won't take. You want me to fill like you think I should go back to Burbank and audition to get on a movie or something like that, right? And take a space that Mr. Russell won't take. That guy's been an actor since he was a child. He's a seasoned professional. I'm a salesman. I'm not an actor. I probably could follow directives from a director and do exactly what he says and receive a paycheck if they needed me for whatever reason. But I don't live around there, I did. If I was interested in that line of work, I would have attempted to do it a long time ago. You got a welding job offer in Burbank? Well, they had Lockheed. Did they have Lockheed out there? Aircraft company? They had that. I feel bad. I really feel bad. I don't know why I feel bad. I feel bad. I feel bad. I don't know why I feel bad. Like I did something wrong. Patrick Swayze. Kevin Lawrence, 4930. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Little Miss Jack, spill the beans, laugh out loud. You want me? I can't talk. I just don't feel comfortable talking about it right now. I don't think I should talk about it. I think if I am given the opportunity to talk about it with the individual that it's about, then I will do it. If I am not, there's nothing I can do about it, and I will never know if I did something wrong. Yeah. You would play a cowboy. Little Miss Jax, what's up with what? Oh man. Anyway, I was just thinking about how much I would enjoy a Lucky Charms marshmallow milkshake right about now. Well, it's where you take vanilla ice cream and you take vanilla bean ice cream and you take a little bit of strawberry syrup and some milk and put it into a blender. And you take all of the marshmallows out of the box of Lucky Charms. You separate all the marshmallows out of it and take just the marshmallows and throw them into the milk and strawberry syrup and just a little bit of strawberry syrup, not a lot, and vanilla bean ice cream. And you blend it together with the Lucky Charms marshmallows from the Lucky Charms cereal. Not the cereal, just the marshmallows. And you blend it together. And you make what is called a Lucky Charms milkshake. I invented that. I invented that when I was a little boy. And it's okay. I invented it and it's really tasty too. Yeah. God, I hate my hair the way it is. I'm being such a little bitch. Get my hair cut. Look at that. This is stupid. I shall be back in 2 minutes. Don't touch that dial. Yes, this is what I sort of look like with short hair. What do you think? Excuse me. Does it look good like this, Little Miss Jax? There are, I am appalled too. I am appalled at how many, damn it, my hair might look okay short like that. What do you think? You like it short like that, Bex, do you? Sugar Cookie says, I think the longer casual look fits your personality, but both look nice. Yes, definitely. Good evening, Ronald. Grace Geltmacher, 9878. Thank you for coming in. This is me with my hair wet back a little bit. So this is the closest I can come to showing people what my hair looks like when it's shorter. I don't know if you've ever seen my hair on my old TikTok channel when it was shorter, or earlier when I started the YouTube channel, I had shorter hair. It was lighter too. I'm deciding what I need to do. At Hickory_run, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I just got something on my mind that's been eating away at me. And I shouldn't let it eat me. A close second is Raisin Nut brand is good. I do like that. Crunchy Nut cornflakes. I never heard of Crunchy Nut cornflakes. I'd have to check that out. Chex Mix is very good. I like that dry too at parties. Rice Chex cereal is kind of a light, crunchy type thing. You could like have stuff like that as like something as a party mix. Captain Crunch was a favorite of mine when I was a child. I probably would like it now. I don't like milk that much, but I would eat dry cereal. I don't know. I like ice cream, but I don't like milk. I don't know why. Now you can buy Lucky Charms marshmallows already separated from the cereal. I did not know that. That's wonderful. That is fantastic. Then I don't have to separate them. I don't know, like certain cereals like Trix, I don't know if that's real food. Is that real food, or Pop-Tarts real food? It's something we need, as Americans, we need to really think about. If Pop-Tarts are real food. Thank you for subscribing to at Hollywoodland21. At Hollywoodland21. Hit the subscribe button. You'll thank me in the morning. Okay, I'm going to ask a question. Has anybody here, okay, especially the ladies, because usually a lot of men don't let this. Well, you know what? I think men are full of crap. Men have had this happen to them. They've had it happen to them. It might have only happened once in their entire lifetime. Maybe, if they're lucky, twice. No, actually, I did not get a haircut. I just wet my hair. But I'm thinking about getting my hair cut, yes. Honestly, most of our food is not real anymore. That is correct. Most of our food is not real anymore. I don't know what it is, but it's something, and it's not it's not real food. Heading to the gym, Melissa McCurrick. Nice meeting you too. I'm glad that you're going to work out, and I hope you have a good workout. And you're welcome back anytime, anytime at all. We'll talk about more things. Be safe out there. Kelly Nunez is going to take a walk soon. Looks good, Randall. Thank you. Toys R Us kid. A Toys R Us kid, yes. Bye-bye. Come back. I'll be back on Friday. I usually am Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until whenever. At Takula1, thank you for helping me tonight. It's made the chat much more pleasant. And I think I kept it on top messages this time instead of all messages. Does that make it a lot easier at Takula1 for you and me and everyone else and all my chatters? I swear I feel like I've met you before. LA is my old stomping ground, especially Hollywood. Well, I did live in Hollywood. I lived in Hollywood 1989 through 1994, and then back again in 1999, 2000, and 2001, and then I went on to the San Fernando Valley in 2002. But I was always in Hollywood all the time, so I was there a lot. And I know a lot of people. I know the guy was the manager of the check cashing, and a lot of the people that worked and were managers or owners of a lot of the stores on Hollywood Boulevard. I worked in some retail stores that are not there anymore. I worked in a lot of restaurants. You saw me at Rock and Roll Denny's. I hung out in the apartments on Las Palmas and Cherokee, those two roads, and Yucca Street in Central Hollywood, in between Franklin and Hollywood, around all those heavy metal dudes and all those punk rocker guys that lived in those apartments and stuff that were in bands before they got on MTV and everything like that. I hung out with all those guys. Used to live in Culver City. I used to live in Culver City. I stayed there for like about 1 month and then I split. It's not really Culver City. I moved there. I lived in a place 1 month there. So I can't remember when it was in the 90s. I didn't like it. I went back to Hollywood. But I did live in South Robertson, which isn't too far from there. You go on the other side of Venice Boulevard, and your Palms is not Palms, but go up to like near Pico and Robertson, like around there. I used to live around there on Airdrome and Holt. That's in the South Robertson neighborhood near Hamilton High School and all that stuff. And you keep on going down South Robertson, and you run into Venice Boulevard. Go across the street. There's an old Helms bakery where the bread used to be made. It's a furniture store now. And and Culver City's right there. So I used to bounce into Culver City all the time. Yeah, I know the area. No, it's the same either way. I'm always on all messages. Really? Oh, like, really? It's the same way with the troll situation? Wow, I did not know that. I wonder what all messages does. Does that bring in more bots or? No, I don't remember that place. I used to go to the Frolic room to drink. I used to go to the Jumbo's Clown room. I used to go to Snow White's. Even though I'm a straight dude, I would go there anyway. There is all kinds. A lot of people that are all across America watching this show don't know this, but I'm going to tell you. When you go into a tavern or a bar in Hollywood, it's not, except if it's in West Hollywood. In West Hollywood, they actually have gay bars, okay? But if you go into Central Hollywood or East Hollywood, the taverns and bars and pubs there, probably not Jumbo's Clown Room. That's crazy over there, but most of the drinking establishments that are strictly for drinking and playing a little bit of pool are not really straight bars, gay bars. They're anything bars. You don't know who's in there. There's people that are straight, gay. You got people that are dudes, people that are trans, people that are everything, and they're all in the bar all together, and they're all getting drunk. And then one day, some guy like Andy Dick will be in there, and he'll get you drunk. That's a story for another day. It was in the 90s. One day, there'll be a guy that does like PORN movies. He told me to get out of Hollywood. And I eventually moved to the San Fernando Valley. He said, you know what? He said, this place is, he said, he recommended that guy that does a lot of pornographic movies that you've probably seen him, the little short guy. He's older now. I think he has some legal issues. A long time ago, when I was a young guy, see if anybody knows his name. He told me while I was getting wasted at a bar somewhere in Hollywood, and he recommended that I leave Hollywood and go to the San Fernando Valley. It's a better place. Go to the suburbs. He said, you don't want to live here too long or something like that. I don't know exactly what he said. Guys, this is a long time ago. This is like back in the early 90s or something. I kind of was drinking and I'm in the bar. I'm like, turn around, like the guy looked kind of sort of familiar. And he said, you got to go, get out of Hollywood, man. Get out of here. Go live in Van Nuys or something. Get out of here. Go to Encino. Go chat. Get out of here. Get out of Hollywood. Yeah, I think that's who said that to me. That's interesting. That was a long time ago. I'm not gonna say whether or not it was him. I'm not gonna. Well, I did mention Andy. I shouldn't have mentioned that, but you know what? He presses people's buttons all the time, and he's doing this stuff too. He's on his social media. He probably does not remember me, but the person did press my buttons once in a bar. It's kind of hard to press my buttons, but there's this guy Andy that can press just about anybody's buttons. I know he gets trashed in public. It's just crazy. I don't know. Cuffs. Do you have a pet? I keep hearing a little bell. What's this little bell, Miss Newman? I keep thinking I did something wrong. What I do wrong? God, at my age, I should know what I did wrong. I have to get rigorously honest with myself in order to know what it was that I did that was wrong. Being human, I'm human. I'm human. I'm a man, okay? I'm human. I'm in the candy store, and I see the best piece of candy in the entire candy store, and I go, wow, unbelievable. You know what I mean? I see the best piece of candy in the candy store. It's like, whoa. like that, you know. What am I supposed to do? Dang it. Let's take this. Hmm. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Any of you men out here, have you ever had? Is there any men here? Are these all women talking to me? Little Miss Jackson, sugar cookies. You guys, okay, Matt. Okay, any man? Well, I guess I can ask this to women too. Look, of course. Okay, um, okay. Maybe women have had this done before. Women or men could have this done. Have you ever had somebody have like you make yourself vulnerable to somebody and they take your heart and go like this? They don't have to. But have you ever had anyone in your life, in your whole life, just know? All they have to do is know. They don't have to do this with your heart. You go, in their little hand like that. Or they know they could do it. Just knowing. just knowing that they have a little piece of your heart and they could go, remember, I have this little piece of your heart and I can do what I want with it. It's like when if you have any if you have enough, if you are not scared and you let go of fear and you take a risk and you make yourself vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable, you take a little piece of your heart and you let somebody hold it in their fingers, right? Just a little bit of it, you know. Have you ever done that? Targeted? What do you mean targeted, Gumba? You mean somebody has you at a scope or something? Dude, that's scary. We can't control other people's idiosyncrasies. Okay. Okay. I can look at this. Oh my goodness. These occur. Sounds like you let someone know how sweet they are and now you feel they have turned sour. I don't know. That's the whole thing. I have absolutely no idea. I don't think so. Is Kurt Russell back on the sauce? No, I'm 19 years sober. If you let people, if you open up to a person too much, that's what a man says, okay? My Kelly Nunez 9974. My heart has been broken so many times and put back together. It's like a Pringle. Okay. Helen Hauerslev 5963. To a degree, but you have to nip it in the butt if you have the will. That means, wow, all this advice. That's okay. going to read this. See the next one. Betty Heimer. Obviously, you have been hurt really bad because some women. Obviously, you have been hurt really bad because some women or men mess with your emotions like that. That may not be, it may be the case. It may not be the case. It's hard to tell when when it's not in person. No, Agumba is talking about some other subject. No, almost been attacked a few times, I think, because I look white even though I'm mixed and dual nationality. I don't know. It might be just where you're living. Do you live in Texas? Do you live in a big city? I don't want to hold back my love. I just need to find the right guy. My current husband was not it. Very sad. Oh. Sugar Cookies 3 says, I don't want to hold back on love. Just need to find the right guy. My current husband was not it. Very sad. Dude got some serious notes here. So, okay, thank you for reminding me of that. Did you ever hang at any of the 3 Denny's restaurants on Sunset? Yes, I did. Matt Air Force. Yes, I did. Quite frequently. Mental health, etc. Different brains, undiagnosed stuff. How am I doing tonight? Fairly fine. Either a person is good or evil. I think all people are evil and fall short of the glory of God. We need Jesus Christ to get into heaven. So I think all people to a certain degree are evil. But that's just my opinion. I have many LA stomach grabs like Universal Studios. They sneak in there every once. I think you're giving your heart to someone is a special thing. But if you know it's no good for you, then find an out. I don't know. And I don't know. I don't even know if the individual meant to do that. Sometimes they're not aware that they're doing that. I'm just like, I don't know, somebody touched my heart. I haven't been the same since. I took a risk. I made myself vulnerable is what I did. I rarely do that. It seems local in Texas. Texas has its own set of problems. Texas is a different state depending on what region you live in. South Texas, West Texas, Central Texas, Southeast Texas near Houston is a mess. Eastern Texas has a lot of crime near the Louisiana border. The Dallas-Fort Worth area is its own thing. And then you have like West Texas and the Panhandle, which is different. It's like 5 different states in one state. And you have good counties, you have bad counties. It's part of Texas is like the South, like from Waco all the way to the border of Louisiana. And then the big cities are the big cities, and the West Texas is something completely different. And then Southern Texas, South Corpus Christi and places south is like you're living in a richer version of Mexico. This channel is about whatever you want to talk about. Little Miss Jack says it's good to be vulnerable. Oh, God. You used to hang around on Yucca? Victor Killian's ghost roams around there. Yucca used to have a laundromat and a convenience store. And did it have a pool hall there? Central Texas is a transient area. You mean like around Austin? Yeah. Austin has a bunch of LA people and New York people flying around in there. If you go to Lubbock, you're going to meet people from there. Used to live on Yucca. Schlock director Ed Wood. Phil Collins, I have like a low grade depression going on that I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know. Sometimes things take time, They really do. So doctors and attorneys have a hard time living in California because they can't afford a house. A doctor and attorney can afford a house in Reseda, California, or Northridge. I don't know about south of Ventura Boulevard up in the hills. Maybe if they're a successful doctor after many, many decades. I had a doctor that lived in Brentwood. I had a dentist that lived in Beverly Hills. You're in Texas and it's depressing. Where are you in Texas? I would like to know. No, seriously, I would like to know where you are in Texas. $400,000 first chart. Northwest Texas. Are you living near Lubbock or Pampa or Amarillo or Levelland or where? I used to live in Lubbock as a child. I know Fort Worth. I guess the stockyards are gone, right? Excuse me. Allergies. Northwest Texas. I know the Panhandle. Phil Collins is here. That's right. It's hot here. What, in Northwest Texas? What, you mean in the Panhandle? You mean in, okay, what's in the Panhandle? La Mesa, Post, Idalou, Lubbock, Shallow Water, Pampa, Dalhart, Muleshoe, Amarillo. I know all those towns. I used to live up there when I was a kid. You're making me miss that? Oh man, you don't want, dude. I just left LA in August of 2023. That place is a fucking mess. It's not like you remember it. No, it's not. It's a mess. You like New York City? I've been to New York. Oh, I've been to New York before. I've been in New York City, Midtown Manhattan, Brooklyn. I've been all over there. I've traveled a lot. Oh, Wichita. Oh, you're in Wichita Falls. I know that place. Well, it depends on if you're a younger person, you'd probably be bored to tears unless you had your own business and you were busy doing things all day long. I mean, if you just had like a regular ass job and you're like going to a regular ass place to work, you come home and on top of that, if you did not have a girlfriend or something like that, you might be bored and stuff in like Wichita Falls. You'd have to work all the time, or you'd have to have a family with a lot of responsibilities to not be bored because you'd be too busy to be bored. Wichita Falls can get unboring and very exciting in the springtime when tornadoes come around. I know all about Wichita Falls. Wichita Falls is very similar to Lubbock and Abilene. Abilene, Amarillo, and Lubbock are all Wichita Falls, and Abilene, and San Angelo, and Big Spring, and Odessa, and Midland, and Lubbock, and Amarillo are all very similar. They're all very similar, and Oklahoma City is a big, giant version of Wichita Falls. And Lawton's very similar to that. I know all those towns out there. Oklahoma City is like a big, giant Wichita Falls. Isn't it? It's the same kind of houses, the same kind of apartments, same kind of motherfuckers, man. MFs. I know Wichita Falls. I would live in Wichita Falls because I'm that kind of guy. It sucks. It sounds so great. Oh, you're working all the time. You work all the time. Do you work a physical job, administrative job, a sales job? Do you own a company? Or what do you do? What are you doing? You working from home? You've probably been to more. Yinging Experience says 5137 says no bragging. Probably been in more European countries than American states. Fort Worth still has stalkers. I hope they stay there. I hope they don't develop it into a bunch of condominiums. They used to drive the cattle up through there. You know where else they used to drive the cattle? Right through the Panhandle, right where Lubbock was. But it wasn't called Lubbock back then. It was called Monterey before they made the town of Lubbock. They used to drive them right up to Amarillo, get them on a train, take them all the way to Kansas City. To chop up the cows and make hamburger meat out of them. Okay, Kelly Nunes, take your walk before it gets dark. Yeah, you don't want it to get too dark, Randall. Good night. Good night, everyone. Thank you, at Kelly Nunes 9974, a big supporter of my channel. Thank you for coming in, and tell everybody about at Hollywoodland21. I will not be here tomorrow, but I will be here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until whenever. Look at this. It's been 2 hours and 23 minutes. I wasn't expecting to be this long. What is tomorrow again? Let me think. Tomorrow is Thursday, right? Yeah, I got to get up at 5:30 in the morning, and it is now Eastern Standard Time, 9:16. It is time for me to go now, folks. Yes, it is. I'm going to split now to myself. Helen Howerslev, 5968. You went to Vegas in June 25. I love America very much, but Vegas was a little unusual with some bad energies. Yes, it is. Vegas is having some issues right now. It has a poor economy right now. A lot of people don't have a lot of money to spend because of the having some kind of a mini recession thing going on, conflict in Iran, prices going up, and just ever since coronavirus, Las Vegas has been off. A lot of people left. There's not as many jobs there, and there's a big homeless vagrant problem there. And they are not nice homeless people. They're young men that are running around doing drugs. They're not like your normal homeless person. Yeah. Yeah, but Vegas will be back together again. Give it about 2 or 3 years. I don't know, man. I'm just working. You're not from here. Yeah. We're building wind turbines. Oh, you're still building those things? I thought those things were on their way out. I guess they're still building them. Well, there's a lot of wind there. I'm going to tell you something. There is a gang of wind in the Wichita Falls area. That's a place that wind turbines might actually work and provide electricity. I would imagine. Clearwater, Florida now. I've been there. You're from Ireland, so this means nothing to me. I know a woman from Belfast, Ireland that lives in New Mexico. And she's a really good streamer. And she's on TikTok, and her name is Mafia Mama. You should check her out. Seriously, on TikTok. Her name is Mafia Mama. And she's like, I think she's like Native American. I think she's Dakota Indian mixed with Irish. And she used to live in Belfast at one time, but she's living in New Mexico or West Texas or one of those places. And her name is, I let it go too long. Sorry, folks. I let it go too long. I didn't know. My fault. Okay. Anyway, I have to end the stream now. Thank you for coming in. This has been fun tonight. I'll see you guys on, ladies and gentlemen, on Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So here we go. Okay. You guys have a good night. I'll see you on Friday, okay? I love you guys. At Hollywoodland22. Bye-bye for now.